I'm sorry, that's all sold out. Yeah.
Oh, wow, look what we got here, folks. Record Store Day. A special piece of paper that comes from AMS, All Media Supply, and it says right here, very clearly to the record store, Record Store Day products must not be sold or displayed until 4/22/17. Thank you, the AMS team. You're talking about the Manhattan Project we got here, ultra secret. This will self-destruct in a few moments. I mean, don't get me wrong. I fully understand the idea of not selling anything before street date, but geez, you can't even glance over and take a look at them organizing the stuff. I mean, for God's sake, I'm on quarantine here.
Yeah, we might get some stuff later in the week, but right now we're at.
Of course, a lot of zombies and everybody else, but no Beatles, of course.
Sorry, I think we're out of that right now. You can check back next week and see if we've got it in late.
Well, I can see here, of course, that they sent this store a lot of Kinks nobody's buying, but they didn't send them any Beatles figures.
Sorry, it appears as if we're sold out.
Go back to where you were. Next two. Some people were saying that they liked when I make occasional rant videos. Well, here is one while I'm still in the mood to rant. It has to do with Record Store Day 2017. The thing is, guys and girls, that I have been enjoying the Record Store Day for the most part. And I think in the earlier days that I participated in this, the reason why it was easier for me was because I was lucky. I have a great nephew who was always able to get early admission. He had a VIP pass to one store in particular, and he used to go for himself. He was very excited about it, and he would get a lot of records for me. So I didn't have to really do anything except to hang out, and that was always obviously easy. He doesn't do that anymore for himself, and I can understand that completely. I think he's a little overdosed on it, and he's told me that lately he doesn't sweat it out anymore. I mean, he gave me good advice, and I think there's a lot I could learn from him. He says, don't really, sweat it so much. A lot of the stuff that you want on Record Store Day is going to be available afterwards. You're going to see it leftover stock in the stores or even on eBay, which, of course, I don't mind. But one of the things that I'm concerned of is when you go on eBay, you're going to get these things price gouged. A 45 that costs $10, $15 winds up being $100 or $200, which happens, The thing about Record Store Day is, now that I have to actually pretty much run around, like the rest of you, I can realize how much it sucks. I mean, a lot of people have made videos in the past saying, this is my last Record Store Day. I hate Record Store Day. It's stupid. It's dumb. Everybody gets on each other's nerves, and everybody's fighting each other. I've noticed some of that. You can see people, I guess the old cliche is a lot of crazy women on a sale day at a dress shop or something. Everybody they reach ahead of people. One of the things you don't do, as we all know as record collectors, is when somebody's looking through a bin of records, and they have the kind of ownership of that bin. You don't reach over ahead of them and grab something. And I heard somebody made a video that said that happened to him. It was Brian, Beatles collector. They only had one record left that he wanted, and he was just about to take it, and somebody next to him reached in and took it. He handled it a lot better than I would, believe me. And this happened. I experienced this with my own eyes today. When I went to Record Store Day, somebody did that to a guy. And, well, there's that. There's people acting like idiots. But, I mean, this is supposed to be a happy day. For the most part, it's a celebration of record stores and people who collect records. It's a great thing in that regard. Good for the independent stores and all, but what a headache. First you have to know, well, let me look at the list and see what records are coming out that I want. And then after you find out what records you want, now you got to see which stores if you're lucky to have one or more stores. Some people have no stores. I have a few, but they don't always tell you what they're getting in. And that's another thing, you know. I mean, I know because of the record store guys that I'm really closer with. I know that they didn't get, for example, any Beatles 45s of Strawberry Fields Forever and Penny Lane today. They didn't get a single one, so they didn't have any for anybody. And I felt really bad in a way because I know when I was waiting on their line outside, there was a kid there, a rather young kid, who I'm pretty sure was really eager and anxious about that Strawberry Fields single. And little did he know, he's waiting on this line. It was raining out there, it was drizzling, and he's getting wet, and he doesn't even realize. He's all excited and pumped up. When he gets in there, they don't have it. They never got it. They never sent it to them. So that's one of the things. You don't even know. When you're waiting on a line, you don't even know what they're going to have. I witnessed in my record store today an older customer, an older man, and his wife. He was very annoyed because my store was having a thing where in order to get an early admission, you have to give $5 per person to a charity or animal shelter, I should say, you know, whatever. And I heard this guy saying, you know, I gave $10 to this and you didn't even have my record. And he was upset, and rightly so. I mean, you know, he was looking for one record. He came in, him and his wife together, they put $10 in for the two of them, and his record was not there, and he was very pissed off about it. Now, to my store owner's credit, he said, well, if you want, you can take back the donation. That's fine. And the guy said, no. He just grumbled, and he left the donation, and he left. And that stinks. I mean, you know, the problem with this record store day is it's too much of a hustle and bustle, too much of a cutthroat thing, too much of people not really knowing what the hell they're going to find when they get in there, too many lines out the door, too much people getting up, having to wait 4 o'clock in the morning in some cases around the block. It's not good. Only getting, you know, 1 or 2 copies of certain things and in stock. I mean, this would be great if there was a way that every store could have a good amount of most things, and you have a good chance of getting what you want. You know, I'm tired of this business of people buying multiple copies. And there should only be one per customer. I know that some store owners really enforce that, and some people don't. There should only be one per customer. You shouldn't be able to buy multiple copies, and you know, and then they go and they flip them. Now you can't control that. I mean, a person is entitled to buy one copy for $10 and flip it for $60 or $75 or more. You know, the prices too of these records are ridiculous in most cases. Now, there was one record I was looking for at this last record store day today, 2017. It's the Andromeda Strain. You know, it's a 1971 science fiction movie. Now, I'm very fortunate. In my years of collecting records, I've only ever seen one copy in the wild of this Andromeda Strain record. And for those of you who know what it is, it's a very unusual, limited hexagon-shaped kind of record. Very special record, released in the early 70s. And it's very rare. I found it at a flea market, the flea market I usually go to several years ago, and I found it for like just a few bucks. It's in decent condition, but not perfect. And I thought, well, you know, even though I'm not really a big fan of reissues, I've always rather owned the originals. I still said that, well, what the hell, you know? It's going to be a pristine reissue. I'll have both the original and I'll have a nice, gorgeous reissue. You know, so why not? And when I picked, luckily I had one copy in my first record store, and when I looked at it, it was $65. I forget it. I mean, I was prepared to pay maybe $50 or something like that, but $65, not a chance. There was no way I was going to do that. And then there's the matter, of course, of, you know, the Beatles record, you know, Strawberry Fields Forever and Penny Lane. I know my store got 0 copies, one store got 5, and a third store got 15, but all of them were gone in no time. You're not enough for everybody. That's insane. And you're going to see them on eBay for stupid money, obviously. In my case, I really wasn't hot for the Beatles record. Ironically enough, I was happy just keeping my original. I have the original one with a picture sleeve. My strategy was going to be If I happened to see it in my travels at one of the stores and it was still there, I could find a copy, I'd get one, but I could live without it. It wasn't a priority. I'm just telling you, it's crazy. Now, at my regular record store, I had noticed that there was a copy of Lost in Space, some kind of special Lost in Space picture disc with the Lost in Space robot on it. I'm a big fan of the show, and I couldn't get my hands on that. There was only one copy. I never got it. It's just crazy, and we have to find. Well, they have to find, whoever runs this show, ways of making more people happy and not making it such a stressful situation. I got lucky because my nephew was able to go out, and in the early days he would very very kindly pick up some records for me if I wanted, and I'd pay him later because he was picking up his own stuff anyway. But that's a thing of the past. And I don't know. Do you wait for eBay to just hang around and say, okay, I'm going to just take my chances after the fact? Another thing is that, I have a YouTube channel. And while I could easily sit back and wait 3 or 4 weeks or more to get some records for Record Store Day, what fun is that when I have a channel and I'd like to kind of show everything I want to get, right there, smack on the day of Record Store Day. I mean, that's what's the important thing, not a month after the fact. This rant, I guess, for a lot of people would be kind of hot-headed. For most people, for me, it's not anywhere near as bad as I could get. I will say that this is a whole other topic for another day, perhaps. But my usual record store owner, he's like all of a sudden holding back on the way he runs things. He's just not as forthcoming with certain things as he used to, and he just kind of like leaves me dangling. You know a lot of this when you see some videos now that I make. He kind of like teases me about a lot of things and plays coy about a lot of things and won't give you straight answers and makes you pull your hair out. Those of you who have hair. And I'm getting tired of that too. There was a lot of stuff going on that I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say anything specific, but it was just stuff that really kind of ticked me off, that I thought was unfair, and that's personal stuff, really. But what else can I say, folks? It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and Record Store Day is some of the dog-eatingest of all, and I'm just tired of it. I ranted in another video about this, but I'm going to do it in here just for posterity. One thing I picked up was Paul McCartney's ridiculous cassette tape, which is Paul McCartney and Elvis Costello demos for the Flowers in the Dirt album. And I'm annoyed with this because, I got this at the first store. It was $20. And then when I went to the second store, although they didn't have the Beatles single, they had plenty of these. You know how much they were there? $10. Well, I'm not going to bitch too much about that. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, it's the luck of the draw, right? If you're in the right place at the right time, you get a better deal. But the thing I'm trying to get at is a lot of people, gouge these prices. Hey, sometimes I catch a break. We all catch a break. I understand that, and sometimes we don't. But McCartney, really, man, Paul McCartney made this statement through his, I don't know if it was his manager or his PR guy or whatever. He said that when he made his Flowers in the Dirt Deluxe Super Archive release, he wasn't really as interested in putting bonus features out on physical media because he said that download cards are the way to go because streaming is everything and downloading is the future. And imagine, after he says that, he turns around and puts this special cassette tape. I mean, I'd like to understand the logic here, try to unravel that. How in the world does a person think that physical media is dead, nobody's interested, and the future is all in streaming and downloading and that crap? So not only does he not put a CD out, but he puts a cassette out. He was even a step below a CD. I mean, if you think there's no market for this physical stuff, what's this? I bought this anyway because I figured I want to get some stuff for Record Store Day, and I'm a bit of a collector. Maybe this will be a curio piece down the line. I'll add this to my Paul McCartney Flowers in the Dirt collection But I mean, really, come on. Well, that's it. You know, Record Store Day in November coming up, 2017. I hope is better. I hope 2018 is better. Maybe this is just a fluke. Maybe this is a thing to come. A lot of people, it's a sign of things to come, I should say. A lot of people just figure, you know, I'm done with it. I'm done with the aggravation of Record Store Day. And I may try to follow my nephew's advice more often and just say, well, I'm just going to not get so stressed over this. I'm going to let it go. And if I get certain things, I do. If I don't, I don't. And I'll get them online, even if I have to pay a little more down the line, maybe next time. It's supposed to be a fun day. I mean, there were elements of fun. I just made a video on Record Store Day, and there was a couple of moments there listening to music, funny music, and there's a bright spot with a young Beatles fan that bought a lot of good Beatles stuff, not Record Store Day stuff, just regular stuff. So there was something, but Jesus, Record Store Day could be a royal pain in the ass.
Tell me when I'm ready.
Okie doke.
Okay. Sorry, we're out of that right now.
Outtakes. Outtakes.
Oh my gosh, it's retarded.
What again?
So, ready?
The battery's almost out. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Sorry, we're out of that right now.
Do it that way.
Well, no. Yeah, why don't you wait a little bit? Because like right now I'm getting retarded.
You get the giggles.
I'm getting giggly. I need some coffee, actually.
All right, Corey, you look up and say it.
I'm sorry. It appears as if we're sold out.
All right, hold on. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, I think we're out of that right now. You can check back next week and see if we've got it in late. Back on?